Hello everyone, welcome to the next session. In this session we are going to talk about uh, the update query, but we are going to do this session into two parts. In the first part we are going to do something which is not related to the update at all, but it's needed to understand the update query later on. Okay, so we'll do that part first, and in the second part we'll talk about the update query. So before we start, I just want you to download this, from the course page. I don't want you to download the modify item.php file and copy that file into your directory and then open it inside your IDE. So you will see that modify item.php and you will have this file over here. What we want to do now is similar to the other previous ones. You can see that I have the header and the footer missing, so I need to include that, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. What I'm going to do is first set the title. Go to say modify item, and then I'm going to say require. We don't need the $sign. It's a function. And I'm going to say header.php. Okay, and I'm going to close my PHP, and I'm going to go down, and we have done this many times, so it's not something new. Okay, so once we are done with this, once we are done with the addition of the header and the footer, the next step that we would like to do is see what this file looks like. Okay, so let's go back to our buy from me page, ensure that your server is started, and let's say modify dash item.php, and you can see that it's blank right now because it doesn't have anything. It needs to have the list of items here, so that the administrator can select one of the item and click on it and make the update. Whenever the administrator clicks on the update button, it goes to the update item page, and if it presses the delete button, it goes to delete item page. Okay, so what we need to do is first do this, which is setting up the page for our next process. So how do we do that? We did this, we did this whenever, first of all, we need to go at the top and we need to run a query, because we need to get a list of all the items. And we did this in the stuff page, which is there. Okay, so I'm going to redo this again just as a revision. So first of all, we need to include the dbconfig. Okay, so once we do the dbconfig file, once I include the dbconfig file, the next thing that I need to do is run the 3 steps. The first 3 steps are done, so the next 3 steps. So the next 3 steps was create a query, which is, in my case, will be select star from stuff, because I need all of them, right? All the items. And then I would process the query, which is result equal to MySQLi underscore query and $con $query. Okay, once I run the query, I will get the results, right? I will get the result, and if you remember, the result that we get is a pointer to the array. So the same thing that we did before, which is I want to say while loop and say $row is equals to MySQLi underscore fetch underscore assoc and $result. Okay, and then I get each row one by one, and then I create a temporary an array called $stuff, and I save everything here. Sorry. Okay, and then I go here and say $stuff. Here I put $row of the ID. Okay, and then I would store it as an array, and it will be an associative array, right? So it has to have the key and the value pairs. So the key would be say name, and it will be $row of name. This is coming from the database, right? If you have some issues, please go back and watch the previous video so you can understand how to do this. Okay, and we have the image, and then finally the price. Okay, so I added all these items inside the stuff array, which has the first index as the ID of the item, so it could be unique. And now I go down and I have to repeat this rows, because if you see this row, I have to repeat. In the previous case, in the stuff page, I was repeating the LIs. So here I have to repeat the rows. So I go back again over here, and this time I will go from here and I would say, PHP. I will use a for each loop again. We use a loop for each loop for the associative array. Dollar the name of the array, which is stuff, as dollar, let's say, item. It could be anything. Or you can say just I. Okay, and then I open it. I'll not close it because it has to repeat this part, right? So it will close after the repetition, whatever I'm repeating. Okay, so I open it over here and I'll close it over here, and I have to repeat this tr. And inside this tr, I have to add something from the list. So you can go back over here and see I need to add something here. So this is inside the label, which is the name of the item. Okay, so I'll go back and say echo $I of name, which is coming out of my associative array, which is stuff, right? And then there's one more thing, because I'm going to make a selection from this radio button, right? So this radio button should contain the key. Now, if you remember, I cannot get the key now, right? Because if I use this way, I cannot get the key. So I have to use a different for each method. So $K like this. So this K will be my key and I will be my row. Okay, and then I can just simply go over here and say PHP echo $K in my case. That's it. So the radio button will contain the ID and the name will be shown, for the user. And let's save this and go back to our page and refresh this now. So you see, now I got a list of every item from my database and it's shown. And if I select any one of them, and if I press the update button, it should go to the update page. And if I press the delete button, it should go to the delete page. So how do we do that? Again, if you remember, this is what we did in the last class, which is let's make sure that the method is post and the action is the same page. So it should come back to the same page here. Okay, and in the same page here, I will use an if statement with isSet $_post, the name of the button. So since here we have two buttons, so I have to choose the right button. So here I'm going to make an action for the update button first. Update button. So if the button update was pressed, I want to go to another page. Now, if you recall from the previous session when we were doing the insert query, I told you whenever we want to go from one page to the other page in PHP, we have to use a function called header. Okay, this function sends you to the other page, and then you specify location, and then you specify the location where you want to go to. In my case, it will be update-item.php. Okay, and then exit, because you don't want to continue with the page, right? Because you have gone to the other page. And similarly, we want to do the same thing. If isSet $_post of delete, because we have two buttons, right? We have to listen to two buttons. And in this case, I'm going to copy the same thing here. But this case, I'm going to go to the delete page. The delete page. Okay? And then let's save this. Let's go back to our page, refresh this. Let's select any one of the items here and let's press update. So it is going to the page because there is no page actually. It's going to the modify item page. Okay, it doesn't go to that page, right? So it's just coming back over here and it is doing something here. We'll see that in the next session. Okay, we'll fix that in the next session. So what we did essentially over here is populated this modify item list, and we added the list of all the items, and we can press the update button or the delete button, and we are listening to the update or the delete button by using the $_post isSet, And whenever it is set to update, we go to the update item.php page. If it is set to the delete, we go to delete item.php page, which we don't have right now, but we will download it and we will set it up. Okay, that's it.